Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I am Ekba Charismatic and today I will be discussing whether or not the BMI is ableist and fatphobia is racist. If you have any opinions of this at the end of this video, please leave the comments down below and let's get started.
So you were factually incorrect. There is nothing inherently healthy about being thin, and there's nothing inherently unhealthy about being fat. And tying health to morality is inherently ableist because not everybody is able to be healthy.
Girl, you cannot throw around the word ableist like that. Ableist refers to a condition that you couldn't change even with all the willpower in the world. It doesn't refer to conditions that are very difficult to treat, but are still within a person's control. Listen, I agree that many people are unable to be healthy due to living in an obesogenic environment. For example, working office jobs, not having much time or energy to cook healthy meals, lack of walkable cities, etc. But that's not ableist. I'd give it a completely different name, like environmentalist, or something that indicates a societal issue that goes beyond the individual. Ableist is a loaded term, so it's important to use it accurately. I don't think that someone who struggles with their health or weight is as helpless in their pursuits as someone who is disabled. I do think it's extremely difficult, so I have sympathy for people who struggle with their weight, but it's not to the point where I would pity them.
And basing people's worth off that is just dumb. There has been so much propaganda against fat people for decades, for hundreds of years, and they're almost always not based in any kind of fact or actual science. Fatphobic is inherently based on myths. The BMI doesn't actually exist. There's no scientific basis behind the BMI.
I hear this claim a lot from the body positivity/fat acceptance movement. However, the Cleveland Clinic explains that the BMI is simply one measurement that aids in determining health. There are other factors involved as well. In fact, the factors that could possibly skew the accuracy of the BMI are as follows. 1. A lack of body composition data, the amount of fat versus muscle versus bone. And 2. Lack of body shape data, waist versus hip measurements. Simply put, the factors that impact the accuracy of the BMI the most are factors that are easily seen and even easier to measure. You can see if someone who's overweight has a lot of extra body fat, and you can also see if they carry that extra fat in their stomach, which increases the risks of disease, or in their hips, which lowers said risks. This whole BMI isn't accurate argument doesn't help the people who want to be helped, those who struggle with their weight due to excess fat.
It's really interesting to look historically at how eugenicists would draw distinctions between different groups of people who now in a modern context we would all just consider white. For instance, Charles Davenport, a well-known eugenicist, made a distinction between Polish, Irish, and Italian individuals as being a distinct race of people from white Americans. One of the ways that he would distinguish them was based on stature. Davenport hated fatness and viewed it very negatively, but he also believed that it was racially inherited. Basically, he thought that Nordic individuals, or people he thought were superior, were tall and slender, whereas Eastern Europeans, or people he viewed as inferior, were more likely to be fat. And none of this would have been controversial among racial scientists of the time period. The thin ideal does have racial origins, and it's important to acknowledge and unpack that.
Why? Again, weight is changeable, whereas race is not. Trying to guilt trip people into not degrading you because then they'll basically be acting racist towards you is a messed up way to solve this problem. You have no right to hijack a form of discrimination you will never experience to get out of being bullied. The mental health argument is better than this one. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Any comments you have, I'd love to read them below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.